Alright everybody, welcome back to this week's episode of Best Brew Ever. Today we are going to sample the other barrel of our double barrel brew day. This is the experiment lager. This was the one I wasn't really sure about. I had more expectations for the internet beer, but as I said before, with the hops that I ended up using, didn't really come out to be the best for that beer. Those hops were not the best style for that beer. Obviously you can see I've already sampled it, I've already dipped into it, and actually this is all that's left once again, because I did a gallon, so I got a 2 liter and a 1 liter out of it. You can see my carb cap that I attached my CO2 hose to the top here, and it carbonates it, and it's carbonated. This one has only been carbonating for like 2 days, so it's probably not where it should be, but I just want to be able to do the review. I have a little time right now, so I'm going to try to get to that. You might be able to hear some noise in the background. Today is actually carb day, carburation day here in Indianapolis. It is race weekend. If you don't know about the Indianapolis 500, today is the last day people, drivers can take their cars out and do the last modifications before the race on Sunday. So I'm fairly close to the track, and you can kind of hear them right now. When they were going pretty loud a minute ago, so if you start hearing some noises in the background, that's actually the cars, as you can hear right there. But this one, it's only been there for 2 days, so it's not got the carbonation that the 2 liter did, but this is still fairly carbonated. Oh, that's not bad at all. You can see that. And this was the experiment because I just kind of threw in, I did like some 2-row and I think Crystal 120. I didn't even think about it. I just came up with that for whatever reason, just to try to see what it was going to be like. It's obviously dark. I don't have a light. There we go. But it is clear. I mean, it has been lagered for over a month, maybe close to 2 months. So it's got a nice hue to it. Let's give it a taste. Now this was the surprise, because of the crystal in it. It's more malt forward, and it works with that Azaka or Asaka, or however you say it. And as the internet beer, the one that I got the recipe off the internet, that was more like, run of the mill, cool and refreshing, but not very malt forward. Not a whole lot to it. It's a basic beer. I actually like this. You cannot taste that weird grassy flavor from the hops as you did in the other beer, and this is good. It's kind of, yeah, you don't pick that up at all because of the that caramely malty flavor. I mean, you're definitely getting almost an almost sweet flavor, not really sweet. It just reminiscent of, just because it tastes caramely kind of. I mean, for obvious reasons. I mean, um, that Crystal 120, it works, and it's a good beer. It tastes great. Um, I would have no problem making this again. Actually, um, I really don't know anything about those hops, like what most people use them in, but it doesn't give it a lemony flavor. Um, this just tastes like a regular beer, kind of. Um, I can't really remember the name. There was I think it was a Brazilian dark lager or black lager called like Shangzhou or something like that, and it's reminiscent of that. Um, it's still light, refreshing, clean, but just with more flavor, and the hops give it a balance of bitterness with the malt, and I do not get that grassy flavor out of this one. And so I guess lesson learned from, if you're going to use Azaka for whatever reason, use it in a malt forward beer. Um, so I really enjoy this. This was the second barrel of the double barrel, I guess you could say, and it is is good. I would call this good. I would call it good. The other one, I kind of had to not really choke it down, but it kind of gave like a flavor when I would drink it. But you got kind of get used to it. You don't have to get used to anything with this one. So even though I don't really know a lot about lager recipes, what um, if people have, there's a lot of purists out there who will say, well, that's not a dark lager unless you have this in it, unless you have that, black patent or something. But I mean, as far as it's dark, it's a lager. It's a dark lager. So if I was gonna make an easy dark lager recipe, I would follow what I did with this one. And if you go back and watch um, the Double Barrel Brew Day, you can find the recipes to this one and to the, uh, the Internet Beer. Um, just with the Internet Beer, I would make it again. I would just not use the hops that I put in this one. This one, the hops work with it. I don't know what it would taste like with other hops in it. I'm sure it would be. I'm sure it would still work. I mean, this turns out this just works for whatever reason. I like it. So, um, there you go. I mean, if you want to try it out for yourself, go ahead. Um, my the details on the recipe might not be so good on there. You might have to. I might have to work something out and put the description, a little better description on that. When I made the video, it was kind of already, some time had passed after I had already made the beers. So because they were lagers, it's a long process, so I had time. Um, so I'll try to get the recipe together and actually put it in the description on that one if you want to try it out. Not bad. I'm sure there are a lot of better recipes, but it's an experiment. So um, I'm happy with this 1 gallon batch. As for the show, still working on a lot of other projects, non-brewing related. You see behind me, doing my uh, woodworking training myself, learning, making mistakes. Um, you know, I made these shelves out of scrap wood. Um, just trying to do different things I've been wanting to do. Not just because of the channel, but because things I wanted to learn, I'm interested in it. I like watching people do it. I like creating things. That's kind of why I got into beer. Like, I love to drink beer. Makes sense to create it. So um, same thing. This is my space back here in the back of the house. I want to make it look good, so might as well create something to make it look good. So there are going to be other projects. I didn't really show anything on this because it's just me kind of learning, and then but there are some, like I'm saying, some kind of beer related woodworking projects that I am going to show. Um, and I just got a lot of, like always, no time, a lot of projects, life coming at you, and like today, um, I live close to the track, so it's pretty much a day that I can't really do anything. If I was going out to the track, that would be great. But my kids, I got both my kids today, wife's at work, and I really don't feel like taking my baby out to insanely crowded track with a lot of drunk people. I know a lot of people do it, but it just sounds like a hassle to me. And besides, I want to drink too. This is only the one beer I had. Like I said, I am watching my kids today, so my daughter's asleep, so I'm gonna have this one and done until later on this evening. But I just had this one moment to make this video, and kind of make things when you can with the time that I have. But I've still got plans, like I always say. When I can get to them, that's another story. But I'm trying. I'm thinking of things. I appreciate you guys watching. It came out good. So, once again, thanks for watching. Tune in. Click the notifications for when I do post, because it doesn't really seem like I'm going to be posting regularly like I wanted to. But I'm trying. I'm sticking in there. I'm not going to give up. Like I said, this is not what I do for a living. So this is for fun, for me and you. And thanks for everything, guys. This is the best brew ever.